Hi, hello, I'm Meta64. I'm making a video, don't worry, but for the time being, here is a filler video. The person above me is Eye of Newt. He is a professional Fancy Pants Adventure speedrunner, and he seems like a cool guy. He was at GDQ, I think, last year, if I'm not mistaken.
I was, yeah.
Okay, it's good to meet you.
I got the chance to run. Oh, pardon
Yep,
me.
no problem, man. No problem. Okay, so you got the chance to run at GDQ last year, which that must have been an amazing honor to have.
It was crazy. Oh my gosh. It it's like, I can't even begin to explain what it feels like. For starters, I've been watching GDQs since 2013, and it's always sort of been a dream of mine to be like, I want to go perform at that event, raise some money for charity. And it started with Fancy Pants World 2. Actually, was what I had originally started submitting to those events.
Yeah.
And for years I submitted that game. I didn't really have much hope that a Flash game was going to get in, but once Super was released, and I started speedrunning that, I thought maybe it could, and lo and behold, it happened.
You know what's funny? I actually started with World 2. Like, does everyone start with World 2, or is that just us?
It's a good gateway speedrun,
I
I
know.
guess.
Like, it's an easy game to understand, so that's why I think you drew to
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
So, like, speaking of which, what else other than GDQ got you into this whole fancy pants speedrunning thing?
Okay, yeah. In terms of Fancy Pants games, I had played a bunch of World 1 and World 2 back when they were on Flash sites. Like, I think Newgrounds is the first place I found them, probably in the mid 2000s, back in when I was in middle school and trying to find ways to play games in school back before the IT people started catching on and banning all of the Flash sites. But I played them then and absolutely loved them as games, and it eventually ended up like turning into this competition that I was having with some friends of mine. Fancy Pants World 2 has an in-game timer, which is super nice to have, to keep track of
Yeah.
times and stuff, and we'd start competing against each other to see who could score the fastest times in that game. I didn't have any idea that speedrunning was like a bigger thing at that point in time, but yeah, it it sort of grew from that. And once I saw that speedrunning was a thing that people actually did, um,
You're probably like, oh
I
wow, I'm just doing this for fun, and I'm like, oh, this is an actual thing people can get paid for?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so I started to take the speedrunning side of things a little bit more seriously and sort of actually route out the game more than just friendly competition with some friends.
What's it? Okay, next question. For the past, I don't even know how long you've been running. For the past years, what has it been like, speed running this game? Like, the community around it, what's it been like to interact with them, talk to them?
Yeah, the Fancy Pants community has always been pretty small. When I started more seriously speedrunning World 2, that was, I want to say, like mid 2013. There was one other person that was like posting times for the game, and that was I Want to Be the Pie. And the two of us talked just a little bit before I Want to Be the Pie disappeared, and nobody's heard from them since. Uh, but it's been really interesting having this perspective from being around these speedruns since like 2013 to see the community grow. That's been like the coolest thing for me, because I was sort of there when it was me, DHA, and DTM were the first couple of people running World 2. We talked a lot. DHA is awesome. for sure.
Yeah, he's a great
And,
guy.
and DTM was, oh yeah, for sure, and DTM is great too. But yeah, it's been really cool to see how much this community has grown over the past, just even like the past year. It's gotten so much bigger, and all of the people around it are really cool, I want to say.
Yeah, separating a community like makes when you see it grow and you're like, oh, I helped create this. Oh my god, this is my creation. I'm so proud of this community. For
I
lack of a better
am, no,
term.
I am very
I know.
proud. It's it's really really cool to see the growth, to see all of these new faces show up. Um, I don't want to take a whole lot of credit for it. I've just I've just
You're
been
just a
around for
guy.
a long time. I haven't given up these games quite yet.
You're not.
And well, with these games, I knew it's only a matter of time before more people would start picking them up because they're pretty cool speed games. I've been saying
Yeah,
it for years.
I think the Fancy Pants Adventures really incentivizes momentum, and obviously, any game that incentivizes momentum is just perfect for speedrunners.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, and I do still enjoy the Flash games for sure, but I feel like Super is so good with that, such smooth movement throughout the whole game. It's just a lot of fun to run, and I'm glad that
Uh,
more people are starting to catch on to that.
so, in terms of, Mr. Bourne, have you gotten any real official recognition for this entire community?
um, Somewhat. I've talked to Brad a few times about stuff. In the early days of Super Fancy Pants Adventure, when it had just released, I know DHA and I were playing it a lot, and we were able to give Brad some feedback on various parts of the game, bugs or glitches, not necessarily ones that were helpful to us, but it was we helped give a little bit of feedback for that. Yeah, since then I've talked to Brad a little bit. Brad is, I know, super busy with
Yeah.
all of the remasters and Super Fancy Pants 2. So I haven't really talked to him a lot recently. He has been very receptive to feedback from the speedrunning community though, which has been super cool. I mean, the biggest example of that is in Super Fancy Pants Adventure. I was talking to him back in December about some of the text box cutscenes in the game. For a long time, it was possible to skip the first sort of cutscene that plays immediately after you finish the first level.
Oh.
And Brad decided to patch that, but in return, he added the ability to skip through the dialogue just by holding up instead of having to mash up to skip through it really slowly. It'll like sort of quickly scroll through all of the dialogue, which was super nice. Yeah, and
Interesting.
he hasn't removed all of the skips that we found, so that's a plus.
Honest, I feel like if you're gonna make a game and speedrunners are gonna speedrun it, keep those skips in, maybe? I don't know.
That's up to the developer. I can see where they're coming from sometimes.
It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so one more question and then I'm gonna wrap this up. Do you think that the series is going on a giant quality curve? Do you think that Super Fancy Pants Adventures is where it's going to where the quality is going to peak, or do you think it's gonna keep going upwards?
I'd like to think that it's still going upwards. Um, the engine that Super runs on is amazing in terms of speedrunning. I don't know what it is about it. I just love it so much. It has to do with like the physics, the movement, all of that is really smooth and really conducive to to picking up for a speedrun. And from what I've seen from screenshots from Super 2, Brad's posted a couple little teasers for it so far. It looks like since he doesn't have to spend a whole lot of time on the engine this time around, he's just going to be reusing the same engine from the most recent game. There's going to be more of an emphasis on the artwork and the level design, which is super, super cool. And I can't wait until that game comes out, because I think it's going to be really, really good.
Well, honestly, thank you for agreeing to this. This is really nice of you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, and viewers, if you want to watch this man go fast in Fancy Pants, go to twitch.tv/eye_of_newt immediately. Follow him.
There it is.
So, thank you for watching again.
Thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate it.
Honestly, the pleasure is mine. You're a nice guy, and I enjoy talking to you. And thank you, viewer, for watching. Have a nice day. To both of you, also. Hey, Meta64 here. So recently, I lost a bet. So I said to one guy in this Fancy Pants Adventures speedrunning Discord, hey, this is world record. How about whoever wins gets my subscribers? If I win, you give me like $5. That's what he said. And if he won, I said I'd give him all my subs. I say, hey guys, go subscribe to this guy. I lost. So, on YouTube, subscribe to Vibronic. On Twitch, follow Vibronic. Apparently, he's going to be streaming soon. So, those two. Thank you for watching. I need to stop getting into these bets.